So this is the, yeah, I think when I was a kid it was my dream to be here. Take a lot of things like this. Yeah. Really good.
I'm Sarah from Edinburgh, and I don't have a technical background, but I'm finishing a PhD that does use very small wireless network computers. So I need to get my hands dirty and sort of overcome my fear of knowing what all these things are.
I'm Steim. I'm a Utrecht School of Arts student in interaction design, and I'm working on an audio-visual live set with kind of external controllers to replace my MIDI keyboard.
Hi, my name is Alexander. I'm a designer and artist, and so I'm teaching in Amsterdam in Belgium, interactive art, and also setting up a new department in Breda. So I'm also here for educational reasons.
So Brucker-Cohen, also with the virtual platform, and also at the HKU teaching at the EMMA, the Master of Interaction Design, and I'm also setting up a new department. So we're setting up the new departments in Holland on the I'll just call interaction design, and we're going to call it ambient experience design, and we're going to start in 2007. So going from literature, having kind of theoretical notions about all this stuff, also about to overcome my fear, so like this moral vacuum of all this. I used to play with soldiers and need to learn how.
So, I'm Tim. I'm an architect designer. Yeah, I'm also here a little bit to overcome the fear to work with this stuff. I'm currently doing a project where we're also going to use a lot of technology, and well, this came along. It's a perfect way to get started on that kind of stuff. And I think it's very interesting to see how much you can actually use of it.
I'm Jason, I'm from England originally, and I did a fine art degree, but I kind of stopped painting for a while and started getting into music. So I went from playing guitars to doing things with MIDI, and I do that in a very basic way, but create all sorts of tunes and perform them live sometimes. So that's what I do, and I'm here to provide you with some kind of sound, whatever that may be, but we'll try and work things out.
Hi, I'm Danielle. I'm a media artist. I would do paintings for the internet and do installations with all computer based. So yeah, I thought it would be refreshing to have a look around here and get my hands dirty. I'm also interested in science, I just realized. And I'm working on a project where I use external sensors to capture science and combine it with other data. So I thought maybe I can do something with that in this workshop. I'm very curious what's going to happen. I'm also a design artist and I studied at the HKU. Now, and there I did visual media and I like physical things from virtual things. That's one.
I'm Ralph, also a media tech student. I'm normally mostly a software guy, but I really like to be able to work with the software stuff, essentially. Something to learn.
Great.
My name is Wouter Leenaars. I'm a computer science student at the Vrije Universiteit in Amsterdam. When I was a kid, I liked to take things apart and see how it works. So, like Rick, this is really a dream come true.
I'm Dirk. I'm a designer, and I mostly work in computers. I also program, but I really like to also do with stuff and skate things, break things, and to get away from computer screen.
Okay, so what we have basically electronic boards that take either switch input or a kind of analog input. So you can either play simple notes, or you might be able to alter the pitch bend of a musical note. And the reason why we have the boards is because we really want to keep the focus on the actual building part of it. And we really see this as kind of like the playfulness, the fun is in the design aspect. And then if you guys are curious about how to build your own boards, you know, we have links to all sorts of schematics that are available online where you can actually build these things on your own if you're interested. But we tend to focus on, okay, just making the object and designing it in such a way that it can interface with the boards and then ultimately go ahead and produce sound. So there are only a few basic sort of principles that you have to follow, but you can apply them in whatever way you like. And oftentimes there are very bizarre and fun ways in which you can apply them and just sort of technically be able to make the connection, but sort of create really weird and unusual things. So, yeah.
So basically, we're going to be creating either one of, I guess there's two different things you can do. You can do both actually. The first simplest one is a switch, right? You've all used a switch, you know, to turn on your lights or to do whatever, press the button or anything. So that's basically a simple on-off connection. And basically, we want you to look at the materials that we have here and think of ways that things could connect, basically, in interesting ways.
And so for those of you guys who have some electronics experience, I'm sure you know, like, you know, what a switch is, but for those who don't, yeah. Basically what you have are these materials, right, that conduct electricity. So you have things that are like conductors, right? And then usually because you want to be able to protect people and other objects from that electricity, sometimes, you know, like the electricity can create interference or cause problems if you don't protect it in some way. You also have things called insulators. So an example of a conductor might be something like this wire. That what's in the middle of this wire is actually just metal. No, here's it here. Just regular old metal, right? Surrounding that, you have some plastic, which is an insulator, and that prevents the electricity from flowing. But what happens when you have two pieces of, you know, wire or metal or any other kind of, you know, conductor, and you have an electric power source connected to them, and those two pieces of wire connect, you manage to complete a circuit, right? So literally, that's all that a switch is.
This is a basic, like, picture of
Yeah.
the electrical diagram of a switch, right? So you have wire 1 here, right? And then wire 2 here. And then basically this wire is connected to, we're going to give you 5 volts on the board, 5 volts of electricity. And then, and this wire is then connected to an input. So basically when this switch is closed, the input gets 5 volts. And then what that'll do is that'll send a mini message out to say, okay, send a note, basically.
Yeah.
So, you know, so basically you want, you know, that's one example. This is a switch example. So any two objects here, they don't have to actually necessarily be metal even. So, you know, for instance, teddy bear, right? Soft, doesn't look like anything electronic. It's good. And if you had, like, I don't know, another thing here, like this toy, right? When these touch, right, there's not going to be any connection because it's fur and plastic. But what we've done is we also brought foil, which is conductive, right? Electricity can pass through this.
Yeah.
So any time when you want to make a connection, but you don't have two obvious metal parts, you can wrap it in this and connect the wire up to one side. So it's just a really fast way of making a simple circuit happen.
I mean, because the interesting thing is not all metals are conductive, but many are. And there are also other materials besides metal that can be conductive. For example, water is conductive, right? And I'll explain how the fabric works, and we can go over connections and different kinds of tricks with working with materials that seem you know, appropriate. Or if somebody wants to rip something apart and has some question about a component or a part within one of these devices, you know, you can pull us aside, and then we'll go ahead and you know, rip some things out and go through it. So the way that we approach this workshop is very kind of hands-on. It's very much like act first, ask questions later. And we often find that, you know, it's in reflection that that most of the kind of understanding of what is actually going on takes place. So first and foremost thing is to just get your hands dirty and have fun, and then afterwards you can kind of think about maybe where the experience might lead you further, or other resources for learning which we can provide if you're interested.
And how many people have actually soldered before?
All right, that's
Okay,
good.
hey,
That's
Only
good.
recently.
All right, that's good.
That's great. Okay, so we have some soldering irons set over there. So
Yes.
we kind of thought maybe like since they're hot and kind of can burn lots of things, we thought we'd put them a little bit away from here. Although there's a few I think on here.
They're connected to a main power strip, and when the power strip is plugged in, they're all on. So just, be aware of that. There are a couple soldering irons taped down here, along with 2 glue guns at each end of the table. So when the glue guns are on and hot too, that's just something to kind of be aware of. They're not too dangerous, but again.
And we also have wire. Well, we'll do this like basically.
Yeah.
Basically, as you kind of see here from wire, one wire, you'll need. If you're doing a switch, you'll need. One switch or anything. Yeah, you'll need some wire. Usually, what you'll do is you'll connect one end of the wire to it, and then the best way to do that usually is to solder the wire to the connection, and then we have some wire strippers as well. To take the ends off, and then once you have the other end, you'll connect that to the boards. So in this case, the case of a switch, you'll have 2 long pieces of wire. One end will go to the input, and then one end will go to 5 volts input on the board. And so that's just kind of, just keep that in mind when you're building stuff. And also when you're cutting wire, we have some strands of it, but it's usually good to kind of have like a long bit of wire, because then you don't have to stand right next to the boards as you're demoing.
Gives you a little more space, and so when you talk about your work, you'll be able to kind of absolutely. Another thing for those of you guys who know how to do something.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why.
Yeah, I know, but everyone here doesn't know.
Okay, to you.
I'm an artist. I'm doing for 16 years for that when you need them. And I work 3 days a week as a media designer. That's when I can education or work and stuff like that. I still make stuff in Flash and so simple games.
So I just want to also mention as kind of a quick sort of exercise, if you kind of feel intimidated a little bit, sometimes some people feel intimidated. We also have materials to build these things that kind of made up called drawbots. And basically what those are, they're little robots that have motors in them and markers as legs. And basically you create them and then you put them, we have some paper on the floor, and you put them down, you turn them on, and they'll start drawing. And it's a really simple way of just breaking into the materials really quick and kind of learning how to build something. We have all the materials for that. We have motors, batteries, magic markers, cups.
And some people like to get crazy and turn the drawbots into a musical instrument. It
Yeah.
just happens.
Yeah, if you want to integrate that into a MIDI type controller. So not everybody's required to do this, but I just thought it'd be interesting if you guys are interested in kind of breaking these.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is to kind of find that space where you're doing something that's new for you, something that's challenging, where you're kind of learning, learning about the materials and kind of learning something new about your own practice, and not necessarily caring so much about whether or not other people know more or less or whatever else. So, it's a group experience. We're all here to support each other, but it's really a kind of individual creative endeavor, or group if you want to work with someone else, because you can always do that.
Yeah, you're totally welcome to work together if you have the idea.
Yeah, some people like to group together and make very weird, bizarre, complex Rube Goldberg machines.
And then we're hoping that at the end of the day we'll have kind of like public performance of all the instruments, and then everyone, hopefully there'll be some people coming from out who aren't in the workshop to see that. So think about that as kind of an end goal to create something that you might want to perform. And we usually do kind of like a jam of everybody's instrument at the end.
Okay, so I guess with that, we're going to just go ahead and go on and dive right in.
Yeah, so look around. This is some scrappy products.
Yeah.
See if there's anything that's interesting for you. And also if you want to get started on the robots.
And the curious thing is I think that turntable actually works some of the time.
Yeah.
And within the printer there should be some motors, if anybody wants to bring that out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not too easy.
So we actually only have one tape. I should have brought another tape.
No, it's okay. I can run out and get one if we run out of.
Do you think that it'll work? Because this is an NTSC one. Do you think a PAL tape? I don't know if you can get a PAL tape.
I think you can.
A tape will work, and then it's just how it records.
It will
Yeah,
record
okay.
on.
computer, and we'll work on
Great.
it because it's NTSC.
Oh, I need to get it long. Get in. And
There's also one over there. If you want to go. Yes, that would be the general.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yikes.
Oh, dat is pijnlijk.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of perplexing because everything looks, there's nothing obvious about the connections that would make it not work.
You can make a letter out of this. Is this a way to put this in between as a switch? Or?
Absolutely. You have the conductive fabric on one side,
Yeah.
and then you cut out the holes here, and then have another piece of conductive fabric.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Ik zit net te denken, je had mijn houten plaat kunnen gebruiken.
Could be of something else, a big snap there.
Ja.
Some of those motors, they've like lost their, unless you kind of take them apart, you could like
We need a tool to do it. Like take that plastic off. So you could also try to use the soldering iron and melt the plastic a little bit to get it.
Ja. Cool man, heb je eigen disco machine?
Yeah, that's so funny. Is the record player working?
Yeah.
But you have to push the...
I touched these screws. It was stuck because of it.
What's the sound there?
Ja, oké, ik kan naar huis.
Ja, hoe ga muziek uit? Hoe ga muziek uit?
Heb ik jouw box nog? Dat die geen
Oké, ja.
dat is wel heel bot.
Ja.
Ik ga het even op.
Oh, yeah. So,
That's a really good analog.
we've got a lot of fabric strips.
This is the DVD. You can use it as an analog recorder.
Probably what you should do is first make, what you want to do is first make a square.
Yeah.
And then you can cut out the letter you want and then stitch it together again. So it's better, you know? So what you want is this way, then you have this one.
Ja, ik ben
It doesn't matter that you cut from the circuit.
No, because then it'll actually hold it together. The stitching will hold it together and make this is much more firm than doing two separate individual pieces. You know, and then whatever's left, you could stitch it together. So actually, even like but
via jouw interface.
and what's nice is that doing that, see, it's still firm.
Yeah.
Because we stitched it together beforehand.
Yeah.
And then to just make it stick, you can just take
Yeah, you pull it out.
Actually, a little bit of zigzag is not so bad. You see the blue threads are non-conductive, right? And then these pinkish, purplish threads.
Ja, ik ben net klaar.
Scrap.
Nou, ik wacht van een analoge controle. Eigenlijk ja, maar dat weet ik niet, want eigenlijk is het ding natuurlijk gewoon hartstikke gelijk. Dus nou ja, nu ik
Your face.
I don't think this is because I don't hear any variance in the pitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the first time.
This one's red. Some like red one.
Yeah, it's a 12%, it's a Dell,
Maybe because these two are connected.
What do you mean? Drill isn't boring.
No station's talking up. Liz is going to charge me on this side.
Oh, that wasn't too successful. I just killed that one. Okay. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Okay. Got one end off. There we go. They're a little beat up, but they're okay. Uh-oh, I don't want to lose it. All right, let's try this one.
You've been too long here and all that. You're already changing.
There we go.
Gebrek aan een boormachine.
Dat zou fijn zijn. Maar dat lukt wel.
Ja.
Bijna. Liggen in de doos nog wel een paar.
Okay, there you go.
Ja.
Alright, so this is a radio in here, and it's on a station that doesn't get in very well.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you get close to it, it'll turn on the radio signal.
Wow.
So how did you get a radio signal into a movement sensor?
It already
have
they
no
may
idea
not
if it's going to work.
It turns a motor.
I have no idea how strong
And then just the signal strength of the radio. It feeds back a little bit though, so once it's on, it tries to stay on.
Yeah.
But this could be another kind of interface, way of interfacing, right? And this would be like extremely magical. This is extremely magical.
Well, it's the same concept as a theremin, right?
Nee, ja.
As what?
As a theremin. It's just it's using a radio wave.
So it's like, but this is RFID without hands.
But it's the same concept as you're influencing the field around it by being close to it, because your body is a pretty decent conductor, or pretty bad conductor, possibly. I'm not sure.
But this is, so this is, it's like RFID without RFID.
It's special ID numbers.
What's a sensor?
What's that?
What's a sensor?
There's also a solar cell.
Yeah.
Solenoid over there.
You should hook it into the disco record.
Ja. Ja, dat heb ik uit die printer gehaald. Ik heb geen 24 volt. Ik probeer nu 5 volt te maken met 4 batterijtjes, maar dat is al heel erg moeilijk. Dus als ik heel veel batterijtjes heb, dan kom ik wel 24 volt.
So it's based on how much noise is going into it. This is based on the volume, and when this goes, you can hear it in the speaker, so it's influencing the field somewhat, and it's screwing. So it tends to stay on once it's on.
It's beautiful, and this whole notion of like not touching and then things happening, which is exactly the magical moment of RFID, but then you still have to have this reader or take or whatever you want. Now it's just you. It's like pure magic.
WTF, oh my god. Hot glue?
Yeah,
Let's just
something.
hot glue that connection. You wanna go get it?
Yeah.
Oh, this is good for today, and that's it, it's done.
Yeah.
Where are the hot glue guns?
Be careful.
Well, it's not plugged in. Hey, question.
Yeah. I have this now underneath.
Do you have, grab your underpiece?
Yeah. Oh, that's,
You don't need holes.
and there are holes in there, of course.
Yeah,
already,
it's
so,
enough, it's porous enough. Did you hear the
yeah.
beep?
Yeah.
You don't need it.
Okay. So, but how do I? Then and if I stitch it,
Actually-
I cannot stitch it then, of course.
Actually, this may be causing, we have to make sure to remove this speaker.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to connect this motor to the tuning system of the radio. So when the turntable spins, the radio will change the radio station.
Yeah. So it will go. Okay. What are you doing? What are you making?
This is a keyboard.
Keyboard.
So you make contacts here,
Okay.
and so these are 3 different keys.
Yeah.
This is, and theoretically I could make a lot of them, except for some reason I decided to use a zipper, which has no function whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
At first I wanted to make it into a slider, but it didn't work out because these teeth don't make contact. So that's too bad.
Yeah.
This is my bridge.
Shame.
It's
Okay.
a phone battery.
That is it's from the virtual platform.
Oh yeah.
Good use of it. Very good use.
Bending and bending and bending.
Oh, it's this one that's bending and bending and bending.
Is it right now?
Yeah, it was like a light sensor. No wonder.
What you made and what that is?
Well, I made a guitar out of simple string.
That still works.
This is my third project already because the first one I did with sliders, it didn't work out really much.
Right.
So I made a cymbal and a drum machine, kick machine. This is my third musical instrument.
Cool.
To the fixed BPM in everything. So if you have a techno tune and a hip hop tune, and your BPM.
So tell me what you made of it all.
So this will be
has 4 contacts in it and
will be warped to
long strip
110 and techno tune too.
with 5 volts on it
Press play,
and
the tunes
a little
will be
silver
synced,
aluminum foil.
more or less sync. It's
completing
great. It
circuits.
does a lot of work
Okay.
for you, so you can focus on more interesting things.
And it's all pumped.
Right now I'm building
Right.
after my meat grinder.
So, what are you making?
Scrap. It doesn't work, unfortunately.
Oh no!
The concept is good, I think, because I have your slider here, and if you pull and push this thing here, then the slider slides. But if I connect it to the MIDI interface, it just didn't work out as well as I expected. Unfortunately.
Oh.
The resistance is
Oh, it just doesn't work the way you thought it would work. It's okay.
I was thinking.
Oh, nice.
Some 4 or 5 police agents actually came down to the station. So we need there must be something wrong. When I get the picked one, stepped inside the metro, made a
Oh my goodness.
snare cymbal. It's pretty nice. And my guitar, of course. I already taped it. I can play it with this little string. I can move full notes out of here. It doesn't work right now, but it's really nice. It's up to the system.
I know, I saw that before.
It's like The Exorcist. So what does this thing do? What does it do?
Rotate. Twist its head off.
Hey, so what are you, Eva, what are you working on?
Well, I'm trying to make sound with it, so I actually have got the black stuff from this. So I put a light sensor here. And
Oh,
when
cool.
it's transparent, it might change the sound.
Excellent.
Nobody has done
And what have you got right there?
I'm trying to do actually the same thing. I want to use this as a reflector for light for a sound.
Excellent. Hey guys, what are you guys making right now?
Sonya's making, I'm just assisting.
Ah.
This is something I've been doing the whole time. It's actually just a toy.
Uh-oh.
Which had been sold. No, it should be. Oh, it's gone. Yeah, it's still there. So it has wheels that just go around. And these
Nifty.
wheels are going to make things. Be attached to things that make sense. I hope. Okay, 45 minutes. We can make.
Hey Sarah, what are you working on?
Making variable resistors out of conductors.
realised that I've forgotten a whole lot of stitches I used to know how to do. I need to go back to craft class.
Nice. So you had these nifty little these are also variable resistors, right? These little spongy ones.
Yeah, so these knots, I made some different size knots by measuring out how much thread I was going to use for each one. And so these are kind of squashy. And you can get a pitch bend out of them through all of this fabric is conductive. And the thread is also conductive, and each one gives you a nice little pitch bend. So now I'm going to make a series of these and hang them off the body. And each one will have a different sound, and maybe we can pitch bending in there as well.
Awesome. Hey.
You should maybe say what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, I made a switch. Yeah, expect music.
Whoops. Okay, so we're curious now. What exactly is this thing?
Well, I'll start.
10 more exits. How many tones? How many tones?
The idea is that every time this switch is made, you switch from the phone to the radio, so you can hear radio signal in between. But that's pretty hard to do. So until now, the only thing I succeeded in was connecting this to the MIDI interface and generating strange sounds combined with this noise from this speaker. Yeah, and of course you have to see this when all the lights are dimmed. Only once.
Excellent.
But yeah, within an hour.
In combination with this sponge thing that will
cool.
change the note that's
So you have to
zipper.
You have to tell. Go ahead and tell us again. I wasn't recording, so.
Well, I've nearly finished my zipper, which has 3 notes on it, and when you zip the zipper, it changes the note. So I want to wear it around my neck, so I have to make something for that. So it goes like this, and then you get 3 different notes. And I want to modify the notes by using this sponge, and when I squeeze it, it will change the note like this.
Cool.
So that's the whole project.
And for that zipper, what do you have on there actually? How are you doing that?
Okay, it's well, just an ordinary zipper, but I use this conductive wire to make the connection between these 2 points. Yeah, I think it might be hard to see, but there's a tiny bit of wire here, and it goes all along here. And here you can see it, and I've stitched it really close to the band. And then I've connected these wires here, just also with thread. And then the wires go into the machine, and well, that's about it.
Nice. Okay, so what are you working on?
I'm making switch from conducting close, electric conducting close.
Ah, nice. So you're building conductive panels?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Hello. What are you? Hi. What are you working on?
I'm working on a fabric switch. Actually, a sort of cushion, which is interactive. So I'll show you. Wait. So I sew on a letter, and so you have to press the letter, and then the switch is going on.
Nice. Cool.
So what's happening here? Say your name and what this is.
Well, I'm Rick, and I just transformed the turntable to a disco ball turntable musical sound system, I think.
Okay.
I really want to connect this to the MIDI.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Spooky, hè?
Yeah, it's really
I didn't make this.
I know.
I thought it was kind of cool.
Go.
It's a cheese grater. It's a cheese grater connected to a motor.
What does it do?
It spins. I fell in love with it.
Why?
I didn't make it. I just think it's cool. That.
Nice.
No.
You better watch out. That can grate a lot of cheese.
Break your knuckles if you let it get in the way.
That's a dangerous weapon, I'd say.
Coming back to it and just like chuckling to myself.
So what is this?
So it's a helmet. It's electrified by my hand.
Yeah.
It's like a construction worker scrubbing his head.
You look like construction worker too. He's like, just go and build stuff, man.
And then what do you have on the helmet?
It's aluminum foil.
Right. Contact.
This is aluminum foil too, and there's a wire running from the helmet, from the aluminum foil to the. So
Okay.
it's basically just a switch.
Yeah.
With 6 different spots.
Okay. Yeah.
And left, right, and 2 on the front.
Excellent.
Can you play something?
But it keeps soms gaat gaan door.
Tell me.
I think that the output is now on. It's not. There's no output now.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, it's on the wrong one. Here, let me.
Good sounds too.
These threads are one different sound. Each one is different.
Nice.
Very good.
Ah, I was like, wait, why isn't it recording? Okay.
Be a revolution in African reggae style music, African dub, like African.
Yeah.
What does this do?
And I can really.
Ah, very good.
Ja. En bijna weer eventjes deze 3.
Oh, we're. Is it a European one?
Yeah, but it's
Because
just how it records it. It doesn't